So this is Magdalene and Deborah, her daughter. Magdalene came to see me 3 days ago, wasn't it, Magdalene? On Monday, the 29th. And both Magdalene and Deborah are traveling to Nigeria. So they came to see me for a travel consultation. And whilst Magdalene was sitting, waiting in the waiting area, one of the staff, our staff, did her blood pressure opportunistically. So they asked her if she qualified for a blood pressure check, if she was taking blood pressure tablets. She wasn't. And if she'd had her blood pressure done recently, which is what we try to do opportunistically. And she hadn't had her blood pressure done recently. So they did her blood pressure. And it was very high. The member of staff was quite surprised. So she brought the blood pressure reading to me. It was over 200. And I thought, oh, it can't be. Maybe she made a mistake. Maybe she was chatting, because all those things affect the blood pressure. So I went through the travel consultation with Magdalene, because that's what she came for. And after she'd been sat for a few minutes, I said, okay, sit down, take a deep breath, relax. I'm just going to double check your blood pressure. And to my surprise, Magdalene's blood pressure was 237/132. I thought, this can't be right. Because in my, 30 years of practice, I honestly have never actually recorded that sort of blood pressure. So I checked it again. This time it was 240/130. At that point, I asked Magdalene if she had had any symptoms, headaches, and she said, well, she'd been feeling some tension in the back of her head, and that she just put it down to stress, which we do. She had had some medication in the past, but she'd had some side effects, and she'd stopped taking the medication maybe a few years ago.
2020.
Yeah. So so I said to Magdalene, I said, I know you've come for a travel health consultation, but I think we have more of a problem here. I think the main issue here is your blood pressure. I'm really concerned about your blood pressure. So without alarming her too much, but also stressing the importance, I said, I need you to go to A&E now, which is what you did. So tell me, Magdalene, I'm really pleased to see you. So you're back. You went to A&E on Monday, which was 3 days ago. So do you want to tell us what happened?
Well, when I arrived, they took my blood pressure, and they were obviously a bit surprised. And
so what was the blood pressure?
Straight away.
They saw you straight away.
Yeah,
the tickets that you gave us, the blood pressure ticket, we gave it, and that, the woman, the nurse was like, this is recent? I was like, yeah, that's the one. She goes, sure. We're gonna have to tell her to wait outside for like 10 minutes. I'm gonna try to get her seen straight away to get another blood pressure reading.
Yeah, and obviously it was still very high. So
still as high as 200?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still in the 230.
So so I went in. Then they put me in A&E in a special cubicle, and started asking me a question. Obviously, all the questions. Why is it so high, etc. And I kind of repeat the same story that 5 years ago, whatever, how many years ago it was, 2020. I took the medication, but it wasn't going, it wasn't right for me. So I stopped taking it, and I saw the consultant and some other doctors, and they took me on a A&E ward, isn't it? Then I had this infusion of
this drip.
Whatever it was,
blood pressure tablets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. First they gave you an oral blood pressure tablet around 7 p.m. and then eventually put you on the drip. For I don't know what exactly it was, but it was to bring down
some balance in my blood pressure, but it wasn't really working. It worked because it brought the blood pressure down, and then they wanted a particular number like 164, something like that.
Yeah, they wanted to kind of have a consistency of like 150, 160.
Yeah.
Before taking it to the next stage or even releasing
sending her home.
But there wasn't a consistency in that. So it did drop.
It fluctuated
fluctuated. And they said, okay, let's take her off to see if it's okay. By the time you take her off the drip, it would go back up. So that's why it was prolonged. We were there for like two nights, 3 days, because they had to try to get the balance in that.
And to see what was going to work with
what was going to work with her as well.
So did you have blood tests done?
We had some blood tests. Yeah, I had blood tests, urine test, and
what about tracing of your heart?
Yeah, they did my heart, they did my
ECG?
chest and everything. Yeah.
Okay,
everything was okay.
Right.
So that was quite surprising.
Yeah. Okay. And so did they keep you in hospital overnight?
Well, I was there for 2 nights.
For 2 nights?
Two nights and technically 3 days, but 2 nights.
Right. So when were you discharged?
Yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday around 6 p.m. around that time.
And your blood pressure was being checked regularly throughout the time?
Yes.
Every hour.
Every hour.
Yeah.
Wow. All through the night.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was very tiring.
Yeah.
Couldn't sleep much.
Yeah,
every hour. Throughout the night.
Okay. So what were you discharged on? What?
Well, they gave me this free medications. I don't know the name.
Okay.
Free medication, and I have to come in tomorrow to see a specialist.
Okay, so that's the medication you showed me. That's indapamide, amlodipine, and doxazocin.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so 3. Right.
Is that really bad?
Well, it just shows how
serious.
Yes, how serious. Yeah. It must have been, because they're trying to bring it down quickly. Yes. So, and how do you feel on the medication?
I feel okay, actually. I was kind of expecting some kind of side effects to some capacity, but I feel okay because I've been running around today. So.
Still running around,
right?
Right. Okay, and obviously you've come back today for your travel consultation,
By His grace,
which we delayed. Yes. So, so what happened was we delayed. I delayed giving Magdalene the vaccine she came for, which was yellow fever vaccine. And my argument was, one, if she had any reaction at all to the yellow fever vaccine, which could potentially even put her blood pressure up even further, that could be fatal, really, because, we don't know what could have happened. So I said, once her blood pressure was controlled and she felt better, she should come back, which she's now come back a lot happier for the yellow fever vaccine. So I'm really pleased and that's the case. And I think the main thing to stress, Magdalene, is the compliance with blood pressure tablets. So quite often blood pressure medication, once you start it, the likelihood is you probably would need to take it for the rest of your life, which is not a bad thing. It just becomes part of your daily routine. The other things also is healthy living. All right, so we emphasize things like your diet, exercise, low salt diet, start doing regular exercise, weight loss. Your daughter was saying that. Okay, so change of lifestyle, healthy living, well-being, all that contributes to bringing the blood pressure down, and you will feel better in yourself as well. So I'm really pleased that we picked that up, and also thank you also for agreeing to share your story, because this is what we can share with other people to say the importance. I think what's also quite important is that you didn't really have any symptoms that you could say, oh, you didn't feel unwell.
Yeah, I didn't
when
feel
your blood
unwell,
pressure was that high.
Yeah.
And this is the message that we want to get out there.
And also, sorry, I do have a pretty good diet.
Yeah.
To be honest, I used to walk as often, but I don't. But my diet is pretty. Quite
say
healthy, eating good food.
Healthy eating in the sense of balance of like protein and vegetables, and generally it's I think it's just been a stressful.
It's been a stressful couple of
2-3 years.
Yeah.
And it's just like getting back into the physical activity of that. Yes, I think just doing that balance.
Get back to yourself.
Because her food is she's more healthy than me, to be honest with you. Yeah. But it's just, I think, getting to the physical activity of and then that
good.
lifestyle changes.
And also, we bought a blood pressure machine. So.
We had to.
Yes,
we had to order one.
That's right.
One in your house,
and that's the message. The message really is that hypertension is so common.
Yeah.
High blood pressure is really common, and it's not a symptom. It's not a condition that will necessarily show any symptoms.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, most people, we all go through very stressful lives. Most people will not have any symptoms of high blood pressure. And sometimes by the time you get symptoms, it's too late. People could have had a stroke, they could have had a heart attack, you know, or some people could even just drop dead. You know, they actually don't have any warning signs. And this is why it is so important. My take home is, I say to my clients that anybody over the age of 50, maybe even 40, the most important thing you should have in your home is a blood pressure machine. Everybody over the age of 50 definitely should have a blood pressure machine at home. That's the most, honestly, it could change one's life. It could save one's life. And just check your blood pressure regularly. Just keep an eye on it. Just check it. It's such a simple condition to treat, and yet it's being missed, and yet people die of it, you know. So thank you so much, and I'm so pleased that you're well.
Well,
I'm
glad I came, even though I'm not. I have a fear or phobia of those kind of things, you know. But I'm glad I came, and I said yes. Normally I would say no, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But I think it was good. I'm glad I said yes to have my blood pressure.
And it was just asked randomly, whilst waiting for the consultation. And if she didn't ask that, then we wouldn't have known.
Well, we've been doing a blood pressure kind of thing at home, but I don't think the machine was working properly, because we would have detected something if it was high. Yeah, but.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.